Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. This is a roundtable, familiar faces, so let's get it started. Introducing first, longtime member of the panel here, man. Both you and Michael are becoming a staple of the show here. James Lemieux, 6'10", the sports animal. When can people listen to you?
It's going to be every Thursday at 5:15 during the NFL season, 5:35 after that, and then I'll shortly have my own show on the weekends here coming up quickly.
Awesome. Let us know when that takes place.
Absolutely.
We can let everyone know. To his left, Micah Frankel, Cage Minds MMA. Tell him the rest.
CageMinds.com, Red Menace TV.
How long do we have?
Yeah.
And also at abq.fm for the DC Life. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that long. So we jump right into it. We got a new friend joining us here right in the center. A little festive here. But Triple G, he defeated David Lemieux this weekend. James, what do you think potentially, can come from this victory? And with a guy that's especially a little bit old. I mean, he's 34 years old.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, when you mentioned 34, that is somewhat old as far as like a combat sports fighter goes. Not only did he win, but he won in fairly spectacular fashion, which is just going to elevate that level of stardom that you're talking about. Again, what's his next fight? You mentioned, the winner of Cotto and Canelo. That would be a perfect matchup for his next opponent. And I think they'd probably sell a ton of pay-per-views on that one. It's something that I'm certainly looking forward to. I'd like to see Canelo come out of that Cotto fight, although I think that one's kind of a toss-up. I would like to see Canelo and Triple G mix it up.
Yeah. Micah, what do you think? I know you haven't had a chance to go look at the fight, but you've been on this guy's ship for a little bit.
Right, I like what I'm hearing, and heck, if a guy can be leading the industry who is a defensive magician who never puts his leather on anyone's face, a guy that's going out there for knockouts should be able to captivate the minds and attention of that audience, and then at least be able to drag some other, tinge fans into buying a pay-per-view, because he does bring that excitement level that you weren't guaranteed in some of the other leaders. And I've heard on ESPN some people talking about Canelo and Cotto both really don't want to fight him, and that could just be some ESPN propaganda. But still, when you're saying stuff like that, and when he's putting together knockouts, stardom seems to be he's the biggest potential star that there is in boxing right now.
Okay, the winner between the two, I'll ask both of you guys. If Triple G and Cotto fight, who wins?
I'm going to take Triple G as much as I love Cotto, and I've been a huge Miguel Angel fan for a while, but I just think Triple G's got a roll. He's got momentum going right now.
And Triple G and Canelo?
Actually, Canelo, I think, might win that fight just because of age. I think that he's the younger fighter. He may just have a little more stamina.
Micah, what do you think about the two potential matchups?
Cotto's been through too many wars that it'll be too hard of a fight on him, and Alvarez hasn't been through as many wars, so it's still it's a good potential that he would have more because of his power.
Either way, there's a potential good money fight that could happen between them. But nonetheless, we move into our next topic. Nick Newell retires, the one-armed fighter, of course, only one loss on his record. Was he 13-1, I believe?
13-1.
Incredible talent. What do you think about him retiring? And, of course, the pretty passionate and emotional speech that he gave post-fight.
Some of this, I think, just turns out to that it's a different era of fighter. A lot of these guys come in here looking to be stars and looking to make money, and a lot of them are shocked when they see that there's not that much money yet in this sport, in MMA, and he talks about he doesn't want to be fighting paycheck to paycheck. Well, part of that is what you do with the money after you receive it, how you invest and what you do with it after that. Budget and all that good stuff. But as far as a fighter, he was very entertaining to watch. I watched him win that XFC title with a submission. He was an underdog. It was a great story. But if you're already got one foot out of the cage or out of the ring, you shouldn't be in there anyway. And some of these guys use the money. Some of them say, and also it's hard on your body. This is harder than anything in the world, just the training camp. So you can't blame anyone that retires.
Nonetheless, with one arm, to have the career that he's already had, championship in the UFC or not, this guy's career has been a success.
Right. Well, and I think at his point, what else does he need to do? At the risk of his own physical health, and at that point, you have to evaluate. And I don't necessarily think it's a money issue. I think this is something that we're seeing not just in MMA, but we're seeing it across lots of sports. Especially the NFL, for example. You're seeing these players say, "Hey, look, I love what I do, and I love this paycheck. But when I'm 45, am I going to be able to get up off my couch and go play with my kids? Or am I going to be sitting there popping painkillers? I think it's a life decision, and you're seeing it in a lot of sports, not just MMA.
But it's incredible what he's been able to do to have that disadvantage of just one arm. It's been unbelievable.
Well,
We'll jump right into it. Sorry, Michael.
I got two of them, and I ain't messing with it. So
we'll jump into our next topic. I think this is a pretty big event as far as Joseph Duffy is concerned. He'll be facing Justin Poirier this weekend on UFC Fight Night 76. Micah, what do you think about this contest and who comes away with it? Obviously a big fight for an Irish guy in Ireland.
The minute I saw the fight announced, my gut reaction was that this is the fight that makes Duffy, that puts him on the map, that jumps him into the top 10, that he wins this fight, that they're just strategically positioning him, that even if nothing else, that crowd fare should push him over the top. I mean, he is the less experienced fighter. On paper, Poirier does have the better jiu-jitsu skills, and they're both 2-0 right now as lightweights currently in the UFC, and I'd say Poirier has the better wins, but I don't know what it is. I still just believe that Duffy gets it done, and he wins this fight probably by knockout, because we've seen Poirier get hurt by strikes before.
Yeah. What do you think of this fight? Obviously, it's a big fight for Duffy. Should he win it? I mean, he's only a 2-1 favorite, but.
Yeah, and it kind of begs the question: how much does home field advantage, does it have a role in MMA or boxing? And I think it does. I think that him fighting in front of his home crowd, having, you know, when he comes out, that building's going to erupt. I mean, it's going to be insane, and that might work against him actually when you think about it. He may go in there with so much adrenaline that he kind of gasses it into the fight. I do see Duffy winning the fight. I think it goes to decision though. I don't see it ending in a knockout, but I like Duffy in this fight, and as he mentioned, you know, Dustin has more experience and does have more quality wins, but it just, again, I think there's a lot to be said for not only that home crowd, but momentum, and Duffy has that momentum.
And there's a little bit of hype behind him, or that they're trying to push because of a win he has over Conor McGregor, but that was like 4 years ago.
Right.
So nonetheless, we'll see what happens this weekend. I think we're all picking Duffy to win, but that'll do it for our roundtable for this week. Make sure you guys tune in, same time, same channel, 26 and 27 on Comcast. Excuse me. See you next week.